Everybody, it's Miss Roth. I'm here at my house, and I'm going to read you a book today, and hopefully my dog will listen too. Okay, I'm going to read the book I Am Amelia Earhart by Brad Meltzer. It's illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, Amelia Earhart is a real person who lived a long time ago. And she is from Atchison, Kansas, which is the same place that my mom was born and raised. And I've actually been to the house that Amelia Earhart got to grow up in. This book is for Leela, my daughter, who makes me feel like I'm soaring, and for Audra, my life, my co-pilot, and my hero. I am Amelia Earhart. When I was little, people told me that girls should wear dresses and play with dolls. They said we shouldn't have unladylike adventures. I didn't agree. In fact, when I was 7 years old, my sister and I decided to build our own roller coaster in our backyard. We placed 2 planks of wood up against the side of our tool shed. Grandma's not going to like this. The cab was a wooden packing box with roller skate wheels attached to the bottom. We greased the wood with lard so we'd move super fast. Lard is animal fat. It's kind of like butter. Makes it slippery. Amelia, are you sure this is a good idea? This isn't a good idea. It's the best idea. Of course, I got to ride first. This was my moment. Here we go. In 3, 2... I still remember the wind in my face. My stomach seemed to sink. I was flying. Amelia Earhart, take this apart this instant. The crash was loud and noisy and messy. It certainly wasn't ladylike, but it was awesome. That was awesome. It wasn't the last time I would fly. As I got older, I went to many air shows. When I was 23 years old, but still a kid at heart, my dad took me to meet Frank Hawks, a man who would eventually set many of his own flight records. For $10, Hawks agreed to take me on my very first flight. You ready? I'm ready. For 10 minutes, we flew through the sky and out over the Pacific Ocean. By the time I was 200 or 300 feet off the ground, I knew one thing. I had to fly. To save for my flying lessons, I worked as a truck driver, which wasn't ladylike either. Move it, Mac. I was a stenographer, which is a fancy schmancy word for someone who writes down what people say. And even a photographer. Say snook. 6 months after I learned to fly, I bought a bright yellow used biplane that I named Canary. Canary is a cool name for a plane, right? This is my instructor, a woman named Nita Snook. That's her real name. But here's my secret. I wasn't a natural. I wasn't the best pilot. I just worked harder than anyone else. That's enough flying for today. No, I can do better. One more flight. Most important, like that day on the roller coaster, I dared to do what many said couldn't be done. A girl flying across the Atlantic? Amelia, you sure this is a good idea? This isn't a good idea. It's the best idea. I became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, and then the first woman to fly by myself across the Atlantic. Back then, people took boats to get to Europe, sailing for weeks. Planes were still a new thing. In fact, on the day I took off, one magazine ran an article that said, women should never be able to fly that far. But I did. To do it, I had to fly for 14 hours and 56 minutes with no rest, no break. Sometimes the sun was so blinding I could barely see where I was going. In the process, I also broke the record for crossing the ocean in the shortest time, doing it faster than any man or woman ever. This is awesome. In October 1922, I broke the woman's altitude record by rising to 14,000 feet. And in July 1930, I set a speed record for over 181 miles per hour. Never let anyone stop you, whatever your dream is. Chase it. Work hard for it. You will find it. It is the best lesson I can give you. I am Amelia Earhart. I know no bounds, and I hope you'll remember that the greatest flight you'll ever take is the one no one has tried before. Never interrupt someone doing what they said couldn't be done. That's the real picture of Amelia Earhart. Here's Amelia at age 7. Remember when she first got into that, when she made her first roller coaster cart? Here's Amelia in the cockpit. That is where the pilots fly the airplane in 1936. Here is Amelia with her first plane, the Kiner Airster biplane, which she named Canary. Here is a picture of the man, Frank Hawks, who was the pilot who took Amelia on her first airplane ride. And here is Nita Snook, Amelia's first instructor. The end. Thanks for listening, guys. Next time, I plan on reading I Am Albert Einstein for our next video. So have fun and stay safe at home.